At 13, he left home to study and play football in Juazeiro. At 15, he took another step, to Bahia, a real club, a real academy, a real test. He was the poorest kid there. He saved on food, on clothes, on everything. Teammates laughed at his rural accent, his manners, his background. He didn't argue. He didn't complain. He just worked. His moment arrived in 2001. Bahia's main defender got injured. Suddenly, there was a hole in the lineup. The coach looked down the bench and pointed at an 18-year-old kid. Just fill the gap. And Dani Alves didn't just fill it. He set the flank on fire. 2 assists, a penalty earned, a 3-0 victory. From that night on, Bahia could no longer pretend he didn't exist. In 2002, he arrived in Seville. No crowds, no cameras. Hardly anyone even showed up to the presentation of this Brazilian newcomer. He came to Europe with 1 T-shirt, almost no money, and no real understanding of where he was. New language, new culture, new football. Inside the club, many saw him as an odd experiment. A defender who forgot he was a defender. A fullback who ran forward like a winger. Coaches yelled from the sideline, "Dani, get back, defense!" But he couldn't stop. That was simply who he was. The first 6 months were brutal. Adaptation, the bench, loneliness, homesickness. There were nights when he wondered if he had made a mistake by leaving Brazil at all. Then something clicked. He found the rhythm. He learned when to explode forward and when to breathe. And Seville changed forever. It was here that Dani Alves showed the world a new idea, that a fullback doesn't have to be a boring man glued to the touchline, that he could be an engine, a creator, a weapon. Look back at his goal against Athletic Bilbao in 2003. Long hair, baby face, no fear. He strikes the ball with pure arrogance, straight into the top corner. Many forget that at Sevilla, Dani regularly took free kicks and corners. He wasn't just running, he was deciding games. 2 UEFA Cups in a row, a historic run, a team no one expected to rule Europe. Sevilla became kings, and Dani Alves became its heartbeat. Every sprint, every overlap, every fearless run forward carried the same message. I'm not here to survive. I'm here to change the game. And Europe was finally forced to listen. By 2008, Europe already knew Dani Alves. But one man saw something more. Pep Guardiola had just taken over Barcelona. Young coach, huge pressure. A club that demanded beauty, trophies, and identity. Pep looked at the squad and said one thing clearly. If we want to dominate football, we need the best right back in the world. And he knew exactly who that was. Barcelona paid around 35 million euros for Dani Alves. At that time, it sounded insane. A defender. For that kind of money? Many called it madness. Overpayment. A risk. Pep didn't care. Because he wasn't buying a defender. He was buying a system. From the first training sessions, it was obvious. Dani Alves was not coming to sit back. He ran. He overlapped. He demanded the ball. He played like a midfielder, like a winger, like someone who refused to stay in one role. And then there was Messi. On the right side of the pitch, something special was born. Something football had never seen before. Messi drifted inside. Dani exploded forward. 1 touch, 2 touches, blind passes. Perfect timing. They didn't need to look at each other. They already knew. Alves became Messi's shadow, his escape route, his safety valve. When Leo was surrounded by 3 defenders, Dani was there. When Messi cut inside, Alves filled the space. When Messi needed oxygen, Alves provided it. Season after season, Dani Alves turned into one of the best assistants in world football. Not just among defenders, among everyone. Crosses, cutbacks, through balls, passes made at full speed, under pressure without hesitation. He didn't chase personal glory. He chased movement, rhythm, flow. Under Guardiola, Barcelona didn't just win. They controlled football, 6 trophies in 1 year, a team that suffocated opponents with possession, a right flank that became a nightmare for any defense. Dani Alves was everywhere, pressing high, recovering balls, starting attacks seconds after winning possession. People stopped asking why Barcelona paid so much. Instead, they started asking how anyone ever doubted it. What made Alves special wasn't just his legs or technique, it was his mentality. He played with joy, with freedom, with the confidence of a man who knew he belonged at the very top. In Barcelona, the boy who once slept on concrete became a symbol of modern football. A defender who didn't defend fear, he attacked space, and on that right side, next to Messi, Dani Alves didn't just assist goals, he helped create an era. And then came the moment that erased decades in seconds. After all the trophies, after the celebrations, after becoming the most decorated footballer in history, Dani Alves made the biggest mistake of his life. Not on the pitch, not with a bad pass or a red card, but away from football. For years, Alves lived at full speed. Fame, money, admiration. A man who felt untouchable. He played like someone who believed consequences were for others. And then reality arrived, brutally. A criminal case in Spain. Arrest. Trial. A court decision that changed everything. The football world froze. Sponsors disappeared overnight. Clubs cut ties. Friends went silent. The smile, the one people knew for 20 years, vanished. The man who once lifted trophies in front of millions found himself behind prison walls. No crowd, no music, no applause, just time and silence. For someone who had everything, this was absolute collapse. His career was over, not with a farewell match, but with a headline. The player who once defined joy and freedom in football became a symbol of how fast everything can be lost. Reputation, gone. Legacy, questioned. Future, uncertain. From sleeping on concrete as a child, to ruling Europe to losing almost everything again. Life completed a cruel circle. What makes this story uncomfortable is not just the fall itself, it's the reminder that talent doesn't protect you, that trophies don't grant immunity, that discipline on the pitch means nothing if you lose control of it. Dani Alves didn't fall because he lacked football intelligence. He fell because he forgot responsibility, and in the end, football could not save him. Today, his story is no longer just about greatness. It's about contrast, about how a man can rise from nothing, touch the absolute top, and then lose it all in a single moment of wrong choice. History will remember his medals, but it will also remember the silence that followed them. Because the hardest lesson in this story is simple. You can outrun defenders, you can outplay legends, but you can never outrun your own decisions. When people ask me about the best time of my career, I don't even have to think. It was Barcelona. Those years didn't feel like football. They felt like living inside a perfect idea. From the very first day, Pep Guardiola made one thing clear. We don't train to run. We train to understand. Every session was like a chess game at full speed. Where to stand, when to move, why one step early is worse than one step late. Pep didn't scream. He explained. He convinced you that football could be smarter, cleaner, more beautiful. We trained like we were already playing a match, and when match day came, it felt like we had already played it 10 times. In that team, there were no passengers. Everyone was connected. Xavi controlled time. Iniesta controlled space. Busquets controlled balance. And on the right side, there was Leo. Playing with Messi was like playing with the future. You didn't wait for the ball. You prepared the space. You didn't ask for a pass. You made the run. We understood each other without words. When Leo moved inside, I attacked the wing. When defenders followed me, space opened for him. 1 touch, 2 touches, and chaos for the opponent. People say I assisted Messi a lot. That's true, but what they don't see is how much he made me better. He trusted me. And when the best player in history trusts you, you grow wings. What made that Barcelona special wasn't just talent. It was unity. We defended together. We attacked together. If one pressed, everyone pressed. Training sessions were intense, almost brutal. But nobody complained. Because we knew, if you survive training, the game is easy. We didn't play for highlights. We played for control. Possession wasn't about keeping the ball. It was about suffocating the opponent. Those years taught me joy. Joy in passing. Joy in movement. Joy in being part of something bigger than yourself. When we won, it felt natural. When we lost, it felt unacceptable. That's how high the standard was. I've played for many clubs. I've won trophies everywhere. But Barcelona under Pep, that was football in its purest form. I wasn't just a right back. I was a piece of a living machine. And Messi was the heart of it. When I think about my career, about why I smile when people mention those years, it's because for a moment in time, we didn't just play football. We were football.